Michael Jordan was truly unstoppable in his prime, as he shredded defenses nightly with his remarkable scoring ability. He would often use his lightning-quick first step to beat defenders off the dribble and then hang in the air for a crowd-pleasing dunk. Or how did he do that? Reverse layup. And his fadeaway jumper was lethal. It's a wonder why players would even try to defend such a shot, since they knew they would just get burned almost every time. In just his second NBA season, 1985-86, Jordan set an NBA playoff record with 63 points. The following season, Jordan averaged a mind-boggling 37.1 points per game, a scoring average that no player has reached since. One of the most fascinating things about Jordan is that he was able to put up big-time numbers despite playing in a very physical 1980s and early 1990s. Back in that era, hand-checking was allowed, meaning defenders could place their hands on opponents to make it difficult to get off a shot. Also, defenders could camp in the paint and not be called for a 3-second violation. Today, rough and physical defense is no longer allowed, so that players can have more opportunities to score. So, what if prime Jordan did play today instead of the 80s and 90s? In today's video, NBA players and legends explain why Michael Jordan would beat anyone in today's game. Before we begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting NBA stories. Let's keep rolling. Shaquille O'Neal. If Michael Jordan had played in today's NBA, Shaquille O'Neal thinks that the GOAT could have averaged 45 points a night. While appearing on ESPN's Get Up in 2020, O'Neal said the league would be complaining about MJ being too good. Shaq added that he would be too dominant for today's NBA to handle. He would average 45 points, and the league would be complaining about two players. They'd be like, Mike is too good, and the kid in Orlando is too dominant. What are we gonna do? And when asked who the greatest player ever is, Shaq said, I'm gonna have to say Michael Jordan, because Michael paved the way for all the great guys that we have now. And 6-0 in the finals without a legitimate big man. Went through a lot, took a year off, came back and won 3 in a row. He's definitely the greatest player. O'Neal has always shown his admiration for Jordan, even revealing he was afraid of Jordan the first time he faced the GOAT on the floor. He's doubled down his claims, putting MJ as the greatest player ever, showing his respect for the all-time great. Alonzo Mourning. Michael Jordan is the 4th leading scorer in the history of the NBA, and he twice averaged more than 35 points per game over the course of an entire season. During an appearance on Katie Nolan's Garbage Time, Heat legend Alonzo Mourning said that he believes if Jordan, in his prime, played today under the current NBA rules, he'd average 50 points per game. He'd probably average almost 50 a game. I mean, he really would, because you wouldn't be able to touch him on the perimeter, so he'd be shooting a ton of free throws. It would certainly be interesting to see the hyper-competitive Jordan attempt to pour in 50 points on a night after night, as he would certainly try his hardest to prove naysayers wrong. That's just his nature. Metta World Peace. World Peace is someone who can truly give that perspective, as he was drafted by the Chicago Bulls in 1999 and played against Jordan in his Washington Wizards stint. His career didn't end until 2017, meaning he was able to face off with the Kobes, LeBron Jameses, and Tracy McGrady's of the world, and also onto this current era with Harden, Durant, and Curry. But for Metta, there is no doubt about how good of a scorer Jordan was, and he spoke about it on his appearance on the Club Shay Shay podcast with Shannon Sharpe. World Peace made it clear that he believes Jordan would average 50 points in today's NBA if he wanted to. I was in the Jordan era and the LeBron/Kobe/Duncan era. I've played with these guys, and I've seen all the three-point balls go up. Jordan would average 50. World Peace is universally considered to be one of the best perimeter defenders in NBA history. Since 1990, Metta is one of just 4 perimeter players to take home the NBA Defensive Player of the Year award. So, he's absolutely qualified to speak on this topic, especially since he has matched up with so many all-time greats. Mark Jackson. Former NBA player and head coach Mark Jackson is of the opinion that Jordan would be extremely dominant in the league. In an interview with Shannon Sharpe for his Club Shay Shay show, Sharpe asked Jackson what he thinks Jordan would be able to do in the modern NBA. Jackson noted that MJ would be able to average whatever he wanted to in the league. During his stint in the league, Jackson saw firsthand how dominant Jordan was. He believes that MJ would average 40 points per game if he were able to play during the league today. Michael Jordan would average whatever he'd want to average. He could get 40 a night. I'm here telling you as a witness. He would average 40 a night. There are some who believe that Jordan would have to adapt his game, especially with how perimeter-oriented the NBA has become. Jordan was never an excellent three-point shooter, and that may have held back his true offensive powers. But most people feel that Jordan would, due to his physical gifts, dominate, especially because of his aerial ability. On top of that, his unmatched determination would allow him to dominate his opponents both physically and mentally. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant once explained how he thought Jordan would have fared in the league if he was part of the competition. During an interview on The Boardroom, the Brooklyn Nets superstar broke down why Jordan would still be the best player in the league if he played today. He can adapt his game to anything. He would fit in as the best player in the league. That's what he would be. He would have more possessions to do more things. But there's more athleticism in this game. There's more length in this game. But it's also more space for MJ to go to work. We'll never know, but for sure he's a master. A masterful basketball player. Jordan was a menace for defenders in the 90s, and the game was way more physical back then. It's not hard to imagine what he would do if he played with our current rules. Some say he would have averaged 50 if he was a part of the league right now. And even if that sounds crazy, Jordan would have found a way to drop many points every single night and dominate his rivals. Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson jumped on that train, giving flowers to his idol, while claiming he would go for 40 on a nightly basis. Talking with three-time NFL champion Shannon Sharpe on his Club Shay Shay show, the answer claimed, "What's the most he ever had? 37? Iverson said, "All right, so 40. Easy. 40 easy. 40 would be easy for Black Jesus." Then AI admitted that when it comes to Jordan, he's not as objective as others. "When I talk about him, it's different. A lot of times it's bad because I love him so much. I wouldn't be the Allen Iverson, the basketball player today, if it wasn't for him." Jordan is perceived as a god by those who watched him play. Iverson got the chance to face him in the league, and his admiration for his airness only gets bigger. That's how impactful MJ was. If he played in a much less physical NBA, Jordan would thrive. Maybe 40 would be short for him, but we'll never know how great he would have been in this era. Nonetheless, the GOAT debate will go on for a long time. Although most of the older fans are in favor of Jordan, a lot of the younger generations embraces LeBron James. Still, few could argue that Jordan would not dominate today's game like he did in the 80s and the 90s. And what's your opinion? Would Michael Jordan dominate today's game? How many points would he average? I would love to hear what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments section. Oh, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. And hit that notification button for more amazing NBA stories and news. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.